Hello, I'm Alejandra Castillo, and I'm honored to serve President Biden and our nation as U.S. Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Economic Development. I'd like to thank Miami Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Alfred Sanchez and the Chamber's Resilience Committee for inviting me to join you today. As a Floridian, I know well the important role that the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce plays in championing the business community and supporting economic development efforts in the Miami-Dade area. The Resilience Committee's focus on advancing solutions and actions to protect the region's natural resources is of critical importance. At the U.S. Economic Development Administration, we also go by our acronym EDA. Our definition of resiliency refers to the ability of a community to withstand, prevent, or quickly recover from major disruptions or shocks to its underlying economic base. Resilience is forward-thinking, with an aim to both recover what was lost and build back better for the future. It is the ability not only to bounce back, but also to bounce forward, to recover and at the same time to enhance the capacities of the communities or organizations to better withstand future stresses. The Biden-Harris administration is committed to helping our communities build back better from the coronavirus pandemic and the many other stressors communities like ours face, including in Miami, hurricanes, aging infrastructure, sea level rise, and serious economic inequalities. The president believes that given a chance, ordinary people can do extraordinary things. That's why he's put forward an agenda that invests in the backbone of this country, the middle class. He believes that what's at stake for working families is a chance to build a decent middle-class life, to succeed and thrive instead of just trying to get by. And what's at stake for our country is the ability to compete and win the race of the 21st century, a race that other countries are rushing to win and that the United States cannot afford to lose. To address these challenges, his agenda has two parts: the bipartisan infrastructure deal, which will create good-paying union jobs all across the country by fixing our roads and bridges and ports, replacing lead pipes, installing electric vehicle charging stations, and more. And the Build Back Better agenda, which invests in our people. The Build Back Better agenda reflects a core belief that motivated President Biden to run for president, that we owe working people in this country a fair shot, that we have to prepare them to compete, that we win by making sure that the playing field is leveled. For President Biden, this comes down to a simple proposition: dignity. It's about saying to hardworking Americans all across the country, we have your back. We'll fight to ensure that the wealthiest and corporations pay their share so that working families, care workers, teachers, firefighters, and nurses get a chance. The Build Back Better agenda is about giving everyone that chance. After working for months with members of Congress and hearing their input, President Biden is forging a path forward towards consensus on a Build Back Better package. There are three major components of the Build Back Better agenda. The first, climate, tackling climate crises by creating good-paying, clean energy jobs. The second, health, making healthcare more affordable. And third, families, making caring for your family much more affordable and accessible. The Build Back Better agenda is about the things that really matter to people. Can I get a good job in my hometown? Can I go to sleep with a little peace of mind? Can my kids get a good education and build an even better life for themselves? We can't put the promise of the middle class life within reach of every American if we can't compete around the world. And we can't compete around the world so long as we neglect the resilience and capacity of our infrastructure, the education and health of our workforce, and the most American idea of all, the opportunity for every single person to get a fair shot. But now is the most important moment for American families to be heard. The American people are demanding exactly the kind of investment that President Biden is proposing. These are investments that will create jobs, lower taxes, and make life more affordable for working families. The time is now. We have to meet the needs in front of us. America's working families deserve nothing less. And as the only federal agency with economic development as its sole mission, EDA is here to help. EDA's strategic investments through competitive grants foster job creation and attract private investments to support development in economically distressed areas of the United States. We understand that communities are at different points of their economic development journey. Some need help developing a plan and figuring out where to start their economic development efforts. Others need critical infrastructure supporting business expansions. And still others need help building ecosystems to translate innovation into jobs. I'd like to emphasize that EDA does not go into communities advocating a Washington knows best approach. We also do not invest directly in businesses. Rather, we support impactful, well thought out, locally devised strategies designed to make it easier for businesses to start and grow. To support our communities across the continuum of economic development needs, EDA's core public works and economic adjustment programs provide economically distressed communities and regions with comprehensive, flexible resources they need to address a wide variety of economic needs. Through President Biden's America Rescue Plan, EDA also has a historic opportunity by managing $3 billion in funding to help our communities build back better following the pandemic. We are implementing this funding through 6 innovative programs. The first, the Build Back Better Regional Challenge, which will invest $1 billion in up to 30 regions to capitalize on American ingenuity and American workers by providing a transformational investments to regions, both large and small, across the country. A quick note that Phase 1 deadline for this program is fast approaching. Applications are due October 19th. The Build Back Better Regional Challenge could be a great opportunity for your community. We specifically don't define what a region is to allow for communities on the ground to partner in the way that they see most fit. The second one is the Good Jobs Challenge, allocating $500 million towards industry-led workforce training programs to help get Americans, particularly women, people of color, and those in underserved communities back to work in good-paying jobs. We're also injecting $500 million in economic adjustment assistance into our communities. These grants will help hundreds of communities across the nation plan, build, innovate, and put people back to work through projects tailored to meet local needs. Indigenous communities will receive $100 million to develop and execute economic development projects they need to recover from the pandemic and build economies for the future. The travel, tourism, and outdoor recreation sector will benefit from $750 million in funding focused on revitalizing the hard-hit travel, tourism, and outdoor recreation industries and accelerating the recovery of communities like Miami that rely on these sectors. $90 million in statewide planning, research, and network grants, including funding for state planning efforts, and a particular interest to you, grants to build communities of practice to extend technical assistance to support EDA's work with grantees. In addition, EDA is making a coal community commitment, allocating $300 million to ensure that we support these communities as they recover from the pandemic and create new jobs and opportunities, including through the creation of and expansion of new industry sectors. Importantly, EDA is committed to equitably distributing these fundings. In fact, EDA's top investment priorities is equity, which speaks to our continued commitment to working closely with our nation's underserved populations and communities. Working with these populations and communities has been EDA's mission since President Johnson signed the Public Work and Economic Development Act, which authorized the creation of EDA into law in 1965, nearly 56 years ago. If you feel you have a project that EDA can help with, I encourage you to visit eda.gov for more information. Our economic development representatives for Florida, Greg Vade, is also available to assist you. Greg's contact information can be found on our website. To conclude, and I know I've shared a lot of information with you, but this is all not only exciting but necessary. I want to make sure that you contact us. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the event. We look forward to working with you to create a brighter, more resilient economic future for the greater Miami region. Thank you very much.